Hey, it's Bill. I'm back, and here's my thoughts on a fantastic Game 1 victory over Tampa Bay Lightning 5-0. It was a fantastic game. Let's get into the review. Again, I'm going to probably sound a little bit less optimistic than pretty much everyone else that's going to be talking or giving a review on YouTube / wherever, Twitter / Facebook. Don't care where you are. I did think they played fantastic. So I'll go through the review. Again, you're playing, for me, right off the bat. How do you finish 4th overall in the NHL and get the Stanley Cup champion back-to-back? Well, the Edmonton Oilers finish 11th in the league and get to play the Los Angeles Kings. Now, granted, they had a lot more problems with the Kings than the Leafs had with the Lightning, which is great to see, because I don't think the Oilers are a very good team and, frankly, very overrated. But I step back and take a look at what the Leafs did last night. And so when the first game, when it started, just a lot of tension in the building. The crowd was fantastic, just loud. Like a standing ovation when Marner and Matthews hit the ice. Like, this is that Toronto? Because I've been in that arena. It's not like that. I haven't been in a playoff game in a while. Maple Leaf Gardens was loud. I went to a couple playoff games in Maple Leaf Gardens, and it was loud. But I've been in Air Canada Center during important games, and you could hear pin drop. So the crowd was fantastic. And then if you would have been in my household at about 7:25 p.m. last night, you would have heard every swear word that probably existed, because I'll be honest, I lost my ever-loving mind. I don't understand Kyle Clifford. You can go back to all my reviews. The guy is useless. I don't care if you want to, I don't give a rat's patootie what he did 10 years ago. I don't care. What I know is in 3 games this year before this game, he took a stupid penalty that cost the Leafs the game. He did it against Florida. He did it against St. Louis. He's done it against many teams. He is useless. The physicality, yeah, okay, what? I don't see sustained pressure when Clifford's on the ice. I know Sheldon Keefe was talking about they play better defensively. Pardon me? I'm not watching the same video that you are, Sheldon. What I see is dumb penalties being taken. And in a playoff series against the Stanley Cup champions, what's the last thing you can do? Clifford does it 4 minutes into the game. And let's be honest. See, this is where I like Keith a little bit, because he called it a bad hit. We're Leaf fans. That was an awful hit. Now, Bruce Cassidy, the little whining bitch from Boston, would have told him that it was the player's fault because he got hit from behind. But that's Boston Bruins mentality, which is everyone else is against the Bruins. And that was a horrible and should be suspended. And I'm hoping Clifford's gone, because it appears Keith can't figure out to keep him on the bench. So hopefully the NHL takes care of it. And it was a horrible hit. Horrible hit. I was cursing. I'm thinking, God damn, power play to the hottest power play team in the league. We're down 1-0. Let's see how we react. Well, that penalty kill was amazing. You've heard me scream about Marner. I've screamed about Marner. I'll tell you, the Marner that I saw yesterday was not the Marner I've seen in 4 straight playoff series. That was a different Marner, which is great to see. Again, I don't think he's $10.8 million. We can get it all into his contract, but I don't really care at this point. It's the playoffs. Show up. And he showed up and was the best player on the ice the entire night. Yes, you heard it from me. Mitch Marner was the best player on the ice last night, which is great to see. I thought Matthews was good, but Marner was fantastic. I will give due where credit is due. He played amazing. That penalty kill with the crowd getting into it, and then right after the penalty kill, Kucherov taking a penalty. This is the way you want to start. This is momentum building. I was a little concerned because they're building momentum. Vasilevsky was making some saves. Nylander, a couple great plays. Vasilevsky with the save. Lots of pressure down low, but on the power penalty kill, geez, they had 2-on-1s. They scored. They were probably more potent on the shorthanded than they were all night on anything else. 5-on-5 power play. Penalty kill was awesome. It was a special teams game. Special teams game for sure. And then I love the Kucherov cross-check. Look back at the ref. Like, you're right in front of the ref. You cross-checked him. We'll get into the reffing in just a second. But, again, perfect. And I'm thinking, you got to score a goal with all this momentum. And it was Jake Muzzin. Can you believe it? Jake Muzzin. Now, I will share this. I do not like Jake Muzzin. He still scares the crap out of me. And even after the goal, the next shift, he nearly gave it back. But I love that they're playing him with Brody. This protects Muzzin. Your worst defenseman is Jake Muzzin on the team that's playing in that lineup. He's by far the worst one. Now, he did compete physically. I like that. He hadn't thrown a hit all year, so he finally threw a hit. This is fantastic. But putting him with Brody is the right decision, and Brody protected him. Brody made a couple great plays, sliding across. There was a 2-on-1 going to Stamkos, or a pass from Kucherov to Stamkos. Those were things that covered Jake Muzzin's mistakes. Brody does that. He's the right player. We can argue whether it be Hall or Muzzin in the lineup. I'm okay if you got Muzzin, but don't put Muzzin with anybody else not named TJ Brody. And you got a shot. So I like that. It was very good. So Muzzin gets the goal. Great screen in front by Mikheyev. Mikheyev, Engvall, Camp. Fantastic games. 1-0. Beautiful. First period intermission. What's going to happen? A little concerned. And all of a sudden now Tampa Bay gets some penalties. Now, I will share this. The first penalty they got was a penalty. The second penalty, where Marner was cross-checked on the ice, I'm sorry, it's not a penalty. I'm a Leaf fan. And call it like it is. It's not a penalty. It was, yeah, you're being a little extra rough on a guy that got knocked down. It's not a penalty. But there was plenty of penalties that the Leafs got called on that weren't penalties either. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But you got the 5-on-3. I love the timeout. And I love the play where Matthews winds up, skates into it at the blue line. It is now 2-0. And now we're starting to roll. This is starting to feel good. More penalties for the Leafs. The penalties on Mikheyev and Lyubushkin were awful. Lyubushkin, I don't know what Lyubushkin did. I don't know what he did. He skated in front of Nick Paul. You're not allowed to skate in front. He didn't grab him. Mikheyev one, you can argue maybe his stick got caught up in the skates. Okay, the guy fell into the boards awkwardly. The ref right beside the play didn't call the penalty. The ref over on the other side of the ice called the penalty. So what did he see that the ref 2 feet away didn't see would be my question. But the penalty on Lyubushkin was just disgusting. That's not NHL referee hockey. It was as bad as the call that happened to, I think it might have been Colton or whoever it was who got the 5-on-3. Horrible, horrible calls. People tell me the refs were good. The refs were absolutely awful last night. And we'll get into why they were more awful in just a bit. Horrible call on Lyubushkin. However, I think the Tampa Bay power play was on the ice so damn long, they got tired. They had 5 penalties in the first half of the game. And Hedman got caught flat-footed. David Kampf in, 3-0. Woo! Now there's a little smile getting on my face because really that went through Vasilevsky. I thought they had the goaltending, like the first 2 goals. I don't know what he's going to do. I know him. That goal, that was a little cheesy. That went through him. He guessed. But Kampf, 3-0. That's probably his best goal he's all scored all year because usually they're crazy ones. And then Mitch Marner was that's just a move. And I don't know if Vlasic wasn't even in the net. He looked like Peter Mrazek to me on Marner's 4th goal. Great play by Riley coming in. The patience of Marner. It is now 4-0. I am starting to relax. And then you start the next period. I want to focus in on that 5th goal. Austin Matthews started that goal in our defensive corner, outworking one of the Tampa Bay Lightning forwards, getting the puck back and getting it over to the defenseman. He is the farthest person from the puck at this point. They go up, they dump it in. Who's the first person to get the puck? Matthews wires it home 5-0. This is why you call him a 200-foot play. This is why he is fantastic. Defensively, he's down low winning battles. That did not happen 2 years ago. It started to happen last year. This year, it's even more prominent. And he's got more goals because of it. Plays defensively. He was hitting. He was rough. It was good to see. Then we get into the shenanigans. Again, I look at the refs and go, this is nuts. Wayne Simmons throws a clean hit. Absolutely clean hit. I get it. I'm not stupid. If the Leafs were down 5-0 and something happened like that, I know what Wayne Simmons was going to do. He's going to do the same thing that Corey Perry and Fat Balloon did. Oh, sorry, Pat Maroon, whatever. Fat Balloon. I get it. I got no problem with that. What I have a problem with is, first of all, why do you go to a goddamn commercial? There's a line brawl, and I'm watching some goddamn commercial about I am me, I'm more than my condition, then whatever the commercial I'm watching. There's a line brawl, and I'm watching some goddamn commercial. Stupid idiot. You come back and watch the line brawl. It looked like they were breaking up. Again, I had no problem with what Fat Balloon and Perry were doing. They're trying to get their team spiced up. They're trying to do some damage. They're hooking, they're slashing. Again, refs, where's the calls? Perry butt-ended Simmons about twice before they even came together. Where's the call? Refs, refs. By the way, the refs in the first two periods were not the refs in the third period. Third period, they let everything go. No consistency whatsoever. So, we go to the last play. How in the world you have the line brawl, and all of a sudden people are fighting? Fat Balloon, the guy who's won 3 straight cups. But I remember him in Edmonton I remember him in Edmonton. That's all I'll say. The fat man, the Fat Balloon, decides he can fight Morgan Rielly without Morgan Rielly fighting back. He just drops the gloves on Morgan Rielly and starts filling him. Where that is low code, that's low. That's low. Perry fielding off with Lyubushkin, I got no problem with that. Lyubushkin looked like he wanted to go. The other guy who took the, Hawala, whatever, he went at Blackwell. That's fine. At no point did Riley's just trying to hold Fat Balloon off, and Fat Balloon starts filling him. Rielly doesn't even have his gloves off yet. When in the fucking NHL does a fat, horrible player get to take on one of the best players of the other team and just start filling him? He did not choose to fight. There better be a suspension to that fat prick. How? Now, Rielly did take his gloves off finally because I think he was tired of getting filled, and he started to actually fight back, not badly. That is terrible. That's where you lose the respect for players. You fill in Morgan. At no point did Morgan Rielly go, hey, let's go, fat man. Fat man just dropped the gloves and started fighting him. Piss off, fat man. You no talent prick. You bride for 3 cups. Yeah, you're real talented, bud. I'm sure every team begs to have a Fat Balloon on the team. You're a passenger on 3 cups. You didn't do anything for those 3 cups. You're a passenger, bud. And you get to fill in Morgan Rielly? I asked my wife, I was sitting in the next play, if the Leafs had any tough guy, you go fight Braden Point, even if he doesn't want to fight you. You fill him. So if this happens, where Tampa Bay gets the lead against the Leafs, someone on the Leafs doesn't even give Braden Point a chance to fight, you fill him. You destroy him. If Clifford gets unsuspended and you bring him back, you tell Clifford, we're down 5-0. Don't give Braden Point a choice. Fill him. That's disgusting. No one talked about it either. No one talked about it. How in the do you allow a Fat Balloon to fight one of your best players? I'm hoping Rielly's all right. His hand looked pretty damaged. Our Morgan Rielly shouldn't be in a fight. He's our best goddamn defenseman. He's one of the best players on the ice last night, and we have some Fat Balloon guy just fill him for something to do. Disgusting, NHL. That should be suspendable. Watch the fight. Rielly didn't even have his gloves off. What happened to the poor guy who smoked Terry? Pretty sure he got suspended. Beagle. There should be a suspension there. There also should be a suspension on Clifford. So I'm both ways on this. And again, if it happens in the series where Tampa Bay gets a lead, you got to fill in Point or Stamkos or Hedman. I don't care who you take. Just don't even give him a choice. Fill them, just like Maroon did. Disgusting. Now, where am I in this series? Am I happy? You can tell I'm real happy. They play great. I'm not concerned about them right now. What I want to see is how they react when it doesn't go well. That's what I want to see. They didn't go well at the beginning of the game. I love the response. But what happens if you're down 2-0 or you lose a game? This is where the Leafs of old don't come back. They have a great lead. They have leads against Boston. One bad play, boom, they fold. This is what I want to see. So while I'm happy they're up 1-0, I'm still waiting to see what happens when things go bad. Because they will go bad. At one point, something's going to go bad. How do they react to it? That's what I want to see. Overall, though, 5-0, you told me it was going to be 5-0 game one, I would have bit your hand off. Well, if you told me Fat Balloon was going to fight Morgan Riley, The only thing that I would say is a little bit different than the last couple of years. If you take a look at the last 6 times in the first round, they've lost game one. The only time they won game one was against Boston. That went 7 games, and then they folded like cheap tents in game 7. Well, actually, they had a 3-2 lead, and then Mike Babcock played Patrick Marleau more minutes than Mitch Marner and Matthews. And brilliant. You wonder why he got fired, Mike? The last time, so the other series, they've always lost game 1. They showed up for game 1. Now they have to. The Tampa Bay Lightning are not going to be this bad in game 2. They're going to be really good in game 2. I like the fact that positive, Campbell, fantastic. Vasilevsky, not so good. That's good to see. If you told me Vasilevsky was going to let David Camp fire it between or right past him, I would have said no thank you to that. Some of those, like the third goal, the fourth goal, he was out of position. It was a great play by Marner, but he wasn't even in the net. Those are the positive signs. But again, how do I get a big smile on my face? I want to see them go down 1-0, have it against them, and make a comeback. Or lose a game and then show up and dominate the next game. Now, if they go ahead and sweep this series, I'm fantastic. Go ahead and do it. I don't think you're going to, but that's what I want to see. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoys the video. I'll do another one for game 2, and hopefully I don't have to see Fat Maroon, Fat Balloon. There used to be a guy, Pat Falloon, that we used to call Fat Balloon too, but I'll give it to Pat Maroon. It's close enough to Pat Falloon, Pat Maroon. Anyone named Patrick Marleau there. Patrick Kane's a good player, but Fat Balloon and no Kyle Clifford, and let's see what happens. Cheers.